More than 7,000 people flocked to the Tampa Convention Center this year for the 9th annual Metrocon, Florida's largest anime convention. Naturally, a few of them were steampunk enthusiasts, so I sought them out to see what fuels their passion.
I personally don't have any of the gadgets per se, but I would love to craft some things, and I just love that everything should, in theory, just work. They have airships, whereas like Star Wars has ships and things like that. It's just kind of an off branch of the nerd thing that a lot of us like.
You can pretty much do anything you want. It's all inclusive. There are very few rules and limitations. As long as you have fun with it, you're doing all right.
Bizarre way my mind looks at things. I like the beautiful simplicity that is the way modern technology is perceived from a previous time. The pistons, the gears, the way it shines in a dull light, the way energy is supposed to be transferred, steam, coal, I like that. It's very serene to me. It just calls to me. I don't know why. I like to take things apart, and this kind of falls into the void. There's gears. I love gears. Anything, circuits. It's fantastic.
I think my favorite part about steampunk is the fact that it's a DIY culture. Like, it's very do-it-yourself. There's no, like, specific character or reference photo to go off of. It's all about, like, using your imagination, and people teach themselves how to sew, teach themselves how to do prop making, all kinds of cool stuff. So I think that's really the coolest part about the whole subculture in general.
I've always really enjoyed the Victorian time period, the aesthetic of, the idea that everything had a purpose but was also beautiful, the idea of handmade items rather than mass-produced manufacturing style worldview. So the Victorian time period just appealed to me, and that, that it was a time when the Industrial Revolution was beginning to happen, but we also still have artisans and, artists who would create a beautiful chair, and that would be an heirloom piece, and just a very, very different worldview of the whole time period. So I just really drew me to it.
Steampunk is something that I've been doing for a very, very long time. Before I even really knew what steampunk was or that it was a thing. There are pictures of me from, I don't know, like the late 90s, early 2000s, wearing not the browns, but black sort of Victorian inspired clothing and stuff like that, and that has always really appealed to me. And then of course, when I basically saw steampunk stuff for the first time, I was like, wow, this is exactly the sort of thing that I've been doing. This is like the perfect direction for me.
I'm rather impressed with it. I really am. A lot of people have taken a lot of time, a lot of effort to build their own little personas out of it, sort of thing. You have the engineer thing going on. I don't have anything personal as like a character, but some people take that and really just run with it. They've really just made their own thing out of it. People don't expect an explanation, they just see it and they can just tell just the heart that went into it, kind of.
I think it's pretty accurate of what steampunk has started to become. Last year there was fantastic costumes. A guy, a quadruped, he had large hand-mount steampunk things. There was a guy with a backpack that was actually set up to drop small amounts of dry ice into water to make fake steam for a power supply, and that was like portrayed beautifully like this. That's wonderful. I mean, I don't have the time. I didn't have the time because I moved, but I wanted to make a gun, a power supply. I wanted to make something elaborate, something everyone would stop and just wonder how awesome it is.
Actually, it's been pretty good. There's been a larger presence of steampunk at Metrocon in the past. This is actually pretty much like the least amount I've seen, but everyone has done really well. Everyone looks great. And I love seeing people who just come to a con, they like do it casually, they like doing it hardcore. Like, I just like that whole mix of people because it really represents how the steampunk community is diverse and everyone's learning at different stages, learning from each other. That's what I really like about it, and I'm really happy with what I see.
Well, I haven't really seen much steampunk outside of just the panel we gave, but I was surprised there were a number of people dressed up at the panel we just did. There's not any like really big, impressive steampunk gadgets or really serious, hardcore stuff. I like your outfit a lot. I particularly like the soot on the face. That's good. Could you want to get on the camera and just show your face really quick? See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, now go back around. So yeah, but other than that, and that guy over there who just walked away. So there's a small handful of people who have some pretty good steampunk outfits.
I've seen some really cool steampunk costumes today. It's crazy to me because when we first started doing steampunk, we would walk around in our costumes and our airship pirates, and people would, oh, what are you from? What is that? It's really cool, but they didn't really get it. They didn't know what it was. They thought it was awesome, but oh, what is this? And it's just exploded in the last 5 to 6 years. It's everywhere, tons of people doing steampunk costuming now, and it's just very well known, which is still kind of weird to me. I still expect people to be like, what are you? And they're like, oh, cool, steampunk, all right. So it's kind of cool.
Allen Armor's a bunch of amazing folks, and they actually had a really good panel. We strayed off topic a little bit, but that's kind of the point. We were able to do what pleased us, and we managed to get some cool ideas out of the way, help some new people understand, and help out everyone.
Reporting for Dr. Fantastic Show Wonders, this is Daylina Miller, your Central Florida correspondent.